Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. I am your host, the Avatar Wolf, and I am by myself this week for the NFL predictions. Once again, Potter's, this should be the last time Potter's actually going to be not here for it. He's actually working tonight, so I couldn't get him involved. And we're doing it on Friday again instead of our normal time on Tuesday. I think we're going to be recording Fridays and have it up on Saturday night, because it seems like a lot of people actually like having that format, and why change it when people actually like it? So yeah, that's why we're gonna keep it like that. Real quickly, right here is the standings. I did not do the actual rankings and who actually has the lead and whatnot yet. However, that will be done before this video is live, so you'll see the updated rankings right now. Actually, after looking at it, I believe Potter's in the lead, and I'm behind him by one game. So congratulations to Potter for finally taking that lead. I've had the lead since the start of the season, but now Potter can have it. So yeah, we'll see how long he lasts with it. So real quickly before we start, we had a Thursday night game that everyone did their picks with. I'm gonna give you guys a rundown of what happened in that game. Talk about that game just for a second. I'm gonna show you guys everyone's predictions for that game. So here's the Thursday night predictions that I put on the Discord right now. The predictions are on Discord. It's in the sports chat, as you will see if you go into my Discord, which I'm gonna put a link in my YouTube video for the Discord as well. And if anyone wants to go in there, they can see for themselves. I did take the Cardinals. I know Potter did as well. I believe Smooth, Ace, Jeff, and Ty all took the Cardinals, as Andrew and Mark, Matt Thigpen, took the Packers. This game was a really good game on Thursday night. It went down to the wire. Actually, let me check my predictions real quick. I said the game was going to be a 3-point game, 28-24. Well, 4-point game. It was a 3-point game in this game right here. Packers came up with the victory, 24-21. Arizona almost came back and took the lead against the Packers. If AJ Green would have turned his head around, he would have actually caught a game-winning touchdown, but instead it was a game-ending interception. And honestly, I've been saying for weeks now I didn't think the Cardinals were going to stay undefeated for that long, and the fact that they went 7-0 to start the season actually proved me wrong. But of course, the day I picked the freaking Cardinals to win, they freaking lose to the Packers. And you know what's funny too is that I was actually thinking about picking Green Bay, but I didn't think Devontae Adams would be playing. And I don't think Devontae Adams actually did play this game. Let me check real quick. Yeah, no, Devontae Adams did not play this game. I picked the Cardinals just for the fact that I thought that Devontae Adams was not going to be playing, and I thought that would affect Green Bay. But Aaron Rodgers, proven to be Aaron Rodgers as always, only 184 yards passing, but still 2 touchdowns, a good police percentage. Not bad for Rodgers that game. Kyler Murray had 2 interceptions as well that cost him the game right there. And yeah, so congratulations to Green Bay being 7-1, and now the Cardinals are 7-1 as well. So let's just go move on to the next segment here on the channel. As we got the bye week teams here, we got Baltimore and the Raiders. Baltimore coming off a big loss last week against the Cincinnati Bengals. Really do need this bye week for them, do they not? Just to get themselves situated there and everything. For the Raiders, how did the Raiders do last week? They beat Philadelphia, so they're coming off a good, strong week last week. Good week for them. I mean, nothing I can really say besides just good bye weeks around. I mean, I have nothing really to say about the Ravens. I have nothing really to say about the Raiders. So we'll just move on to the next games here, and we'll just keep talking about the games here. Up next, we have the Carolina Panthers going into Atlanta to take on the Atlanta Falcons. I'm taking Atlanta in this game. Now, I've been high on the Carolina Panthers, and I think that the Carolina Panthers are going into this game. They're really coming down, really, if I'm being honest. Like, Atlanta has the momentum. Like, the spread's actually -3 for Atlanta, but the matchup predictor is actually in favor of Carolina to beat the Falcons tonight. But the way the Carolina Panthers have been playing since they lost McCaffrey has just been downhill ever since. I think the Carolina Panthers are actually, yeah, they lost their last 4 games in a row. They lost to Dallas, then Philly, Minnesota, and then the Giants. Whereas Atlanta's coming off of a 2-game win streak against Miami and New York. I don't see Atlanta really stopping anytime soon. I think they're going to take third place easily in the division, maybe even second, but we'll talk about that later on. Give me Atlanta to beat the Carolina Panthers 21-17. Without Christian McCaffrey, this Carolina team is just not. They're not good. This offense is not good. Let me just real quickly make sure McCaffrey's out. He is injured reserve for right now. I believe CJ Henderson is injured as well. He's questionable to play, as well as Stephon Gilmore out for the Panthers as well, who they picked up recently from New England. Yeah, I just don't see Atlanta not winning this game. Give me Atlanta against the Panthers. Up next, we got the Miami Dolphins at the Buffalo Bills. Last week I said Miami was going to win against Atlanta, and I did not think Miami with Tua was going to be just lackluster. I'll just say that right away. Miami does not look good with Tua as quarterback. And a possible trade for Deshaun Watson is going to happen probably, apparently, for Miami fans. However, even if they do get Watson, I do not see that saving them this season. Miami's in a bad way, and I'm taking Buffalo easily to beat the Miami Dolphins. Hold on. There we go. Miami is in a bad way here. They're already losing. I think they've lost their last few games, if I remember correctly. They haven't won since week 1, and they're on a 6-game losing streak. And Buffalo's coming off the bye week, and they're coming off a terrible loss to the Tennessee Titans. I don't see Buffalo not taking Miami, and just smashing their brains in, especially since Jason Corey is actually in injured reserves. And we have Devontae Parker, who's questionable play for Miami as well. So give me Buffalo to beat the Miami Dolphins. Let me say another blowout here, just because I'm a Bills fan. I'm going to be biased, so I'm going to take the Buffalo Bills 42-0 against Miami Dolphins. And I know Dolphin fans are going to hate me for that, but you know what? I don't really care. Oh well. Next. So up next, we got the San Francisco 49ers at the Chicago Bears. Now, this game is actually going to be an interesting game for me. I want to see Trey Lance take on Justin Fields, and right now, actually, San Fran's actually the favorite to win this game here. I'm actually going a different route. I'm taking the Bears to beat San Francisco. That sounds very weird for me to say. Is it Trey Lance playing, or is it Jimmy Garoppolo? So here's the thing. Okay, I'm taking the Bears only for the fact that they're having an up and down season so far, right? Like they can go out there and they can beat teams like the Las Vegas Raiders, and they also I know who did they beat also earlier. I think they beat Arizona, didn't they? Didn't the Bears beat Arizona? Oh no, they beat Cincinnati. Sorry. So they beat Cincinnati and they beat the Vegas Raiders. So they have talent, they have potential. It's just Trey Lance versus Justin Fields. I just don't see Fields not having a performance out there against the Niners. And the Niners are on a 4-game losing streak as well, but the Bears are also on a 2-game losing streak, so I mean that probably doesn't really matter that much. But I just don't see San Fran actually stopping the Bears with all their injuries this season. They have D Ford out, or D Ford's doubtful actually. A linebacker's doubtful. Tart, the safety's out. Kinlaw's out. Hurst is out. Khalil Mack's actually going to be out for the Bears, and I did not know that in advance. That might be a problem for Chicago, but you know what? I'm going to stick to my gut feeling. I'm taking the Bears. I'm taking the Bears over the Niners. I'm going to give them 27-24 against San Fran. This game's probably going to kill me. I think the Bears are going to probably cost me, but I'm still taking them. I got to go with my gut instinct and just take the Bears. Up next, we had the the Pittsburgh Steelers at the Cleveland Browns, and this is a game that I think is going to be interesting. I really do think this game is going to be very interesting. First of all, for the Steelers, Melvin Ingram is actually doubtful to play this game, and I think that's going to be huge. One less pass rusher for Baker Mayfield to worry about. And I believe the Browns are actually going to have Baker playing, if I remember correctly, right? Yes, Baker will be playing. So this is a tough game to really decide on as well. I can see both teams winning here. I can see the Steelers beating the Browns here, especially after the Steelers got completely embarrassed last year by the Cleveland Browns in that playoff game that the Browns had no reason to be in. Um, it's just a hard game to predict for me because I don't know how Baker's going to play. I don't know how injured this Brown team actually is. I mean, Devon Clowney is actually questionable play. Malik Jackson's questionable play. OBJ's questionable play. Like, there's all these what ifs with the Browns right now. And they've been injured this season, and that's what's been keeping them at 4-3 record instead of. It should be a higher record if we're being honest overall. But the Browns just cannot get anything going with all these injuries, and it's just hurting them in the end. However, I'm gonna go with my gut instinct again. I'm taking Cleveland to beat the Steelers. I'm giving them 20-17. Someone just sounded like a Halloween freaking villain. Yeah, I'm taking Cleveland to beat the Steelers 20-17. I I just don't believe in Big Ben and the Steelers anymore, man. It's hard to believe in them when they've just been completely lackluster this season on offense. And it looks like the Steelers are actually getting it together actually this season too. I've seen they've been running the ball a lot more. They haven't been keeping the ball in Big Ben's hands late, and that's why they've won their last two games. But against Cleveland, I mean, you need to be damn near perfect, and that defense should be able to stop the run, in my opinion. Even though the defense has been very suspect this season, has the Cleveland Browns defense been? I mean, they allowed 47 points, it's 37 against the Chargers and um, Arizona Cardinals, but those are overpowered offenses compared to the Steelers' offense. So I'm giving it to the Browns 2017. Up next, we go into Detroit as the Philadelphia Eagles will take on the Detroit Lions. Now, usually I have Potter here to give the good word for the Detroit Lions because I think that Dan Campbell is actually a really good coach. It's just in Detroit, he does not have the talent around him to show that. And I think that is what the problem is in Detroit for him, is that he just doesn't have the talent to actually keep up with these high end teams. Now, Philadelphia is taking a downward turn as well. They lost to Tampa Bay. They lost to the Las Vegas Raiders. They beat Carolina though, so that's a good sign. But I mean, still, they're losing games here or there and everything. But again, the Lions have lost every game this season. They are 0-7. I I want to give this game to the Lions. Honestly, I want to take the Lions. However, I just can't take them. I don't think the Lions are going to beat the Eagles this Sunday, folks. I'm sorry. But the Eagles, I mean, they are the odds on favorite with the matchup predictor, and they have the spread as well. The problem with the freaking Lions is Jared Goff at quarterback, in my opinion. I don't think Goff is that good of a quarterback. He's more of a game manager. And with the talent that Goff has around him, he cannot actually game manage games. He has to go in there and produce on offense, and he has to go in there and produce with the ball as a quarterback. And Jared Goff just cannot do it. I'm sorry, folks. Jared Goff just cannot do what you expect him to do as a franchise quarterback. I mean, some people still expect him to be a franchise quarterback. I personally don't, my opinion, but some people probably do, especially Detroit fans. But yeah, I just can't take it. I can't. I just can't take it. Nope, I can't do it. Give me Philly. I'll take the Eagles all day. I'm taking the Eagles 17-13. And that's the thing too, is that the Lions are going to keep it close. The Lions are not necessarily getting blown out every game. It's just they fight. They fight. The Lions fight for games. If we're being honest, like they lost to the Rams 20-19, which was a close game until the end. Cincinnati was an absolute just burial of them, but Minnesota only won 19-17. The Bears only won by 10. Baltimore had to squeak out a 66-yard field goal to beat them. So yeah, I mean the Lions are a scrappy team, and if they're gonna beat a team in this season, it's gonna be the Eagles. But I just don't see it happening. And watch me be wrong, and the Lions win their first game, and I'll be so happy for them if they do. Up next, we have the Tennessee Titans at the Indianapolis Colts. This is an easy one to take. I'm taking Tennessee, and it's actually kind of funny because they're actually okay then. I did not know this. Tennessee, Julio Jones is out once again for the Tennessee Titans. I did not know he was actually out. What's his injury? Julio Jones, hamstring. And they're saying he's not going to be playing this Sunday. I mean, they still have A.J. Brown and they still have Derrick Henry. But Julio Jones does hurt them a little bit. And I don't know how, but actually, the Indianapolis Colts are actually favored to beat the Tennessee Titans this week. I I don't know how and I don't know why. I still think Tennessee's a team to beat in the AFC South. This is a division rival matchup here. Um, they might be taking Indy just because they have the home field advantage and Julio Jones out. They think that's going to be a big factor to play in this game. T.Y. Hilton's actually questionable play, and Xavier Rhodes is questionable play as well. They haven't been ruled out in that, but I find it interesting that they actually they're taking the Colts. I think it's going to be Tennessee still winning, and I'm taking Tennessee to win against the Colts, but I'm surprised that ESPN is having it where the Colts are the odds on favorite to beat the Titans, especially the spread as well. Like a money line of plus 130. That might be, if you're better, maybe the money line on Tennessee might be the way to go, ladies and gentlemen. Just saying. Give me the Titans. I'm going to take the Titans 33-27 against the Colts. I think with this news about Julio Jones, though, it's going to be interesting to say the least. Um, this might be actually a game to watch, ladies and gentlemen. This might be game of the week, actually, right here. Um, I think Tennessee and the Colts might be that might be a close game. The Colts are not a bad team at all, to say the least. I said this last week, but the Colts are just unfortunate circumstances of their schedule going in their against their favor, and they did lose to Tennessee in Tennessee earlier this season. Did the Colts, but yeah, I mean, I'm taking Tennessee to beat the Colts. I don't think there's going to be anything different here. Tennessee's riding off of so much momentum right now. I don't see Tennessee really losing. So, yeah, give me the Titans 33-27. Next, the Cincinnati Bengals heading to New York, take on the New York Jets. Man, the Jets, I feel sorry for the Jets, man. Cincinnati coming off a big win and beating the Baltimore Ravens, taking the first spot in the AFC right now. Chris Evans is actually going to be out for the Cincinnati Bengals, and for the Jets, they have two injuries. Tyler Croft is questionable, and CJ Mosley questionable. Corey Davis is doubtful to play. Trevon Wesco, tight end, is out for Tennessee or for the Jets. This is an easy one for me. I'm taking the Jets to beat them. No, I'm taking Cincinnati 35-10 against the Jets. I don't think this is gonna be a contest. I don't think the Jets are actually that legit of a team. Um, this might be an interesting trap game though for Cincinnati because the Jets could trap them in this game and win because the Cincinnati Bengals are looking onward instead of looking at the Jets because next week I believe they face a tough challenge. Yeah, they take on Cleveland next week, and that's going to be a big game for Cincinnati. If they can beat Cleveland, that would be huge for their standings in the AFC North. So I think they might, if they do lose this game, it's going to be because they're looking past this game and going and thinking about Cleveland instead, and that's not going to be a good thing for the Cincinnati Bengals. But still got to take the favorite here, Cincinnati, to win easily against the Jets, 35-10. Up next, I got the Los Angeles Rams at the Houston Texans. Another case of it just being a very easy game to predict. I'm taking the Los Angeles Rams to beat the Houston Texans. I don't think this is much of a contest either. Houston just in a bad state as well. LA is on a whole different path right now as well. This could be a trap game for the LA Rams, though. They are taking on Tennessee next week, and they might be looking forward to that game instead. But I don't see it being one. I see Houston completely getting walloped by the LA Rams. Tyrod Taylor's still out. You're gonna see David Mills for Houston, and you're gonna see him get walloped. Taking the Rams. Rams taking them 40-13. Now, this is a game I was going to say was going to be game of the week this week until I seen that Julio Jones was out for Indy or for Tennessee. But you know what? This might still be my game of the week. It's the New England Patriots at the Los Angeles Chargers. Now, I think this game is going to be down to the wire, and I'm taking the Chargers to beat New England. And here's the thing. New England might not be the team that they were like in the years past, right? I said that last week. I believe I said that like 2 or 3 weeks ago. However, they're going to keep it close against teams like the Los Angeles Chargers. It's going to be close in the game. It's going to be a slugfest like it always is. Bill Belichick's defense is going to show out. They're going to put some stops together against Herbert. I mean, Belichick against a 2-year starter, I believe. Never. It's Belichick usually has a game plan against good young QBs, even if they have potential and an upside. New England's gonna keep it close, but the Chargers, they have too much to lose here. They need this win against the New England Patriots. I do not see them losing against New England. I'm taking it the Chargers. I think I took it 24-21. I'll say, yep, 24-21. I'm taking Chargers to beat the Patriots. Now, this could go either way, by the way, too. I think Mac Jones could probably cause some factors as well in there, too. But with Mac Jones being his rookie season, I just don't see it happening yet. I gotta wait until next season for Herbert to actually start laying up the NFL, let's just say. So, yeah. The Chargers, I'm thinking they're going to bounce back after a big loss to the Baltimore Ravens against the Patriots. However, the Patriots did beat the Jets 54-13, but again, it's the Jets. So, take that win as you will. Yeah, I'm taking the Chargers. Up next, after that, we got the Jacksonville Jaguars going into Seattle, take on the Seattle Seahawks. Can Geno Smith play against the Seattle Seahawks is a question. Now, I heard rumors that I want to check actually real quick just to make sure, but I heard rumors that Russell Wilson is going to be back to play. Maybe not this week, but weeks coming up. I have my sock in my hand, by the way. I'm sorry. Yeah, so his pins are supposed to be removed next week, is apparently for Russell Wilson's finger. He's still in injured reserves, though, so it will be Geno Smith playing for the Seattle Seahawks. Can Geno Smith actually lead the Seahawks to beat the Jacksonville Jaguars is the question. I'm going to say yes. I'm going to say yes for Geno Smith coming back and playing really well for the Seahawks and beating the Jacksonville Jaguars only because it is the Jaguars. The Jacksonville Jaguars, they're in a clusterfuck this season. It's not looking good for the Jacksonville Jaguars. They're coming off the bye week last week, but I mean a big win after against Miami as well. If the Jaguars somehow beat the Seahawks, it's time for the Seahawks to abandon ship and basically start the rebuild because that's all I think they're going to get to. So yeah, I'm taking Seattle 14-3. They can't really lose to Jacksonville, can they? I have no idea. I wouldn't be surprised though. I mean, if you're taking like bets right now, let me see what that bet is actually for Jacksonville to beat the Seahawks with the money line with the spread. A 3.5. I might take Jacksonville there on the spread if I'm betting on this game, which I wouldn't. But if you think that you know what you're doing, I think that spread would be better for Jacksonville and not Seattle. So yeah, give me the Seahawks though, 14-3. It's hard to say though. It could be a close game. Up next, we have the Washington football team at the Denver Broncos. Now, Potter will be over here saying that Denver's actually a legit team and that they should run away with the Washington football team. However, I'm going to go against everyone's predictions here. Everyone's saying that Denver's the odds-on favorite to win, right? I think both teams are on a bad losing streak as well. The Broncos have lost their last 4 games in a row, losing to Cleveland, the Raiders, Pittsburgh, and Baltimore. Washington is a 3-game losing streak. They did beat Atlanta though, so it's not a 4-game losing streak. But still, I gotta take Washington to beat the Broncos. Jerry Judy's out for the season. Or not out for the season, but he's on injured reserve. Von Miller's questionable to play. I mean, he got injured last week against the Browns. I just don't see Denver doing that well against the defense of Washington, if I'm being honest. And I just can't take them. I can't take them to beat them. I just can't. So I'm taking Washington to beat Denver 20-10. I think Tyler Heinicke is actually a really good quarterback, and he's just getting short end of the stick. And I think against a defense like Denver, he can do well against them. However, if it's Tyler Heinicke, he's probably gonna have a bad game, and it'll be a bad performance for them. However, I am taking Washington to beat the Broncos 20-10. Up next, we got Tampa Bay going into New Orleans, taking the New Orleans Saints. Ty Q Uno, I am sorry, but I gotta take the Buccaneers. And I'm not even saying it's going to be a close game. I think it's going to be 35-17. I think Tampa Bay is going to run the floor with them. I don't think it's going to be close at all. I know Antonio Brown is out. I know Gronkowski is still questionable, and Richard Sherman is questionable, and all this other stuff about Tampa Bay. But the Saints have just not looked good, in my opinion. I mean, last week they barely beat a team that was led by Geno Smith, 13-10. They lost to the Giants as well. I mean, I just cannot take the Saints to be a team like Tampa at this time. Now the Saints might surprise you, especially if Jameis Winston has one of those games where he comes out and throws 5 touchdowns and keeps up with Tampa Bay. But it's not gonna be like the problem with Jameis Winston is that you're either gonna get that type of performance out of him, or you're going to get the performance where he throws 5 to 6 picks a game. That's just how he plays. However, he's been limiting the picks this season. He only had 1 game where he had 3 picks in a row, I believe. I believe that's his only interceptions this season for Geno Smith, or for Jameis Winston, I'm sorry. So it's due again to happen soon. Just being honest with you. I just don't think Winston's actually that quarterback for the Saints, and hopefully they can prove me wrong and beat Tampa Bay. I mean, I don't want Tampa Bay to win, but same time, I can't really pick against them. Nothing really to prove right there, you know? So give me the Buccaneers to beat the Saints 35-17. Up next on Monday Night Football, we have the Dallas Cowboys going into Minnesota, taking on the Minnesota Vikings, and this is a close game, ladies and gentlemen. Dak Prescott is still questionable to play. Michael Gallup still on injured reserve. For the Minnesota Vikings, Michael Pierce is out. It all comes down to, does Dak Prescott play or not for the Cowboys? Like, if it is not Dak Prescott, can the Cowboys do it with their backup against Minnesota? The Cowboys are a good team this year, ladies and gentlemen. Do not get me mistaken. However, I don't know without Michael Gallup if they can actually beat Minnesota. Minnesota's a sneaky team, man. They can be some problems for good teams. Like the Vikings, you can't sleep on the Vikings, man. They might be 3-3 and they might look not that tough, but at the end of the day, they keep games close against good teams, especially like against Cleveland, 14-7. They almost beat Arizona, 34-33. They completely dominated the Seahawks, 30-17 with Russell Wilson. I mean, the Vikings, man, they're close. It's hard to say. I'm going to take Dallas to win against the Minnesota Vikings, only because for the fact that I don't know if Dak Prescott's going to play or not. If Dak Prescott plays, I think it's going to be a blowout. I think Dallas will dominate the Vikings. But if Dak does not play, I'm going to trust the backup quarterback to do his job, game manage the game, and Zeke Elliott and Tony Pollard to go off on the Minnesota Vikings, so I'm going to give the Dallas the win, 21-20. The score is just in case Dak Prescott does not play. If he plays, I think it's going to be a blowout. But if he doesn't play, I think it's going to be down to the wire game. And Minnesota's going to miss a field goal probably again and lose the game against Dallas. Because that's how Minnesota always plays. And you know what? Knowing Minnesota, they're going to throw a few picks to Trevon Diggs as well. Only because it's primetime football and Kirk Cousins loves doing that in primetime. Our last game to talk about tonight will be in Kansas City, Monday Night Football. It's New York Giants at the Kansas City Chiefs. It's obvious I'm taking the Chiefs. I don't see the Giants even being close in this game. I know the Chiefs are coming off of big losses against Buffalo and Tennessee, especially that Tennessee game where they only scored 3 points. This is the New York Giants that we're talking about. This isn't a problem for a team like Kansas City, right? Now, if the Giants do beat Kansas City, then it's time to throw the bolt overboard and start the rebuild if I'm Kansas City. Well, not even start rebuild, but just get rid of get out of this season and figure out what the hell was wrong with this season and go on to the next season. Because that's what Kansas City needs to do if they lose this game to the New York Giants. Because the Giants are not going to be that much of a problem for Kansas City, I don't think. This is a must-win game for Kansas City. They must win this game, and against the Giants, it's hard. Like, the Giants are not going to have a chance. I don't think the Giants have a chance on Monday night. Evan Ingram questionable. Sterling Shepard questionable. Kadarius Toney questionable. Kenny Galloway questionable. I just don't see it. I don't. Patrick Mahomes is having a bad season. He has 9 interceptions this season. And that's the most interceptions we've probably seen from Patrick Mahomes in a season. But that's how it is. But I mean, still, look at Patrick Mahomes' number: 18 touchdowns, still over 2,000 yards passing. I mean, some do not even have that as a quarterback. You know, I got the Kansas City 2017 to beat the New York Giants. I just don't see the Giants being much of a contest for Kansas City. So that's gonna do it for us tonight. This is our week. What week was this? Week 8. I want to say week 8, but I'm not that sure. Yes, this is our week 8 predictions on the channel. Thank you all for watching. And hopefully next week we got Potter back on the channel as well. And yeah, we'll see Potter here as well. And we'll have some good conversation about football when he comes back. This is 2 weeks in a row that Potter was not here for it, sadly. And that's how life is. We'll get him back next week, and we'll see. We'll probably have like maybe an hour or 2 hour talk with football on this channel, like we always do when Potter's back. But anyways, for now, I am going to be signing off. I am the Avatar Wolf.